Hey everyone, thanks so much for listening to this week's episode of the When I Grow Up podcast. In today's episode, we have a very special guest, and her name is Blair Kim. For those of you not watching and just listening, she did a hand motion to indicate hello. Yeah, it's a little bit weird because, yeah. Anyways, hi Blair, how are you doing tonight?
I'm great, how are you?
I'm very excited to be here. As I'm doing this, I'm realizing that I am very uncomfortable in front of the camera. And I don't know what to do with my hands.
You talk with them.
I know, but it's weird in front of the camera. So I'm just going to do this and lean.
Okay.
Anyways.
Well, thanks for hosting this week's episode.
Yeah, of course. As the podcast progresses, there has been a couple of episodes where I came on and kind of interviewed you at certain milestones. I forget which one it was. The first one, obviously, and then which one was it?
I don't know. I think it was like a Christmas special 1 year. So I don't know. At the end of the year, we did something.
Okay. I think this is the third time, but
Yes.
Today's occasion is that this is Blair's and the podcast's 100th episode. Congratulations.
100.
Sorry. And so we just wanted to do, and she wanted to do something special or something different, and we thought of all these different ideas, and none of them were very appealing, I guess.
Yeah, it's not that I didn't like the ideas. It's just none of them sat well with me.
It didn't feel right
Yeah.
for this particular episode. So
Yeah.
we just thought, what if we just have a chat and I could, just talk to Blair about, I don't know, just some of the things that she learned maybe throughout this year and maybe the past 2 years. I think for that special Christmas thing, I've already asked you a couple questions. I don't know when it was, so maybe it's been a year, maybe it's been a year and a half. But since then, the things that we've learned and you've learned and the ways that we've grown, as we grow up.
Yes.
And so, I just thought we thought it'd be fun if we could just have a chat today and talk about those things. Hopefully we won't just babble for, hours on end and just...
So we won't what?
Babble.
Oh, babble.
Is that wrong?
No, that's right. That's
Sorry,
right.
I am a fob, so...
No, it's more than you're a fob. I realize.
Yeah.
I feel uncomfortable as someone being interviewed right now.
I see. She's nervous, is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm very nervous too. Not nervous. I just feel uncomfortable in front of I just don't like talking
Right.
in front of a camera. I just don't like talking in front of people in general,
That's not true.
unless I have a guitar in front of me.
Yeah. Your guitar is
That's
your
my
safety
shield, yes.
shield, or what do you call that?
That's
Security
what it's called.
blanket kind of thing.
Sure. Let's call it that. Anyways, so that's what we're going to do today.
What?
Forgot something.
What?
Be right back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's been a very long day.
Yes. But a fun day.
It's been a very long and fun day. We were able to have a date day. That we haven't done in what?
I don't even
Many
Months.
moons. And we had some friends doing a VBS this week, and so our kids thankfully were able to stay there by themselves. And we had a day to ourselves today. It's a Saturday.
Yeah, we went to brunch, watched Thor.
Oh yeah. Just kidding.
Oh no, no
Just kidding.
spoilers.
kidding.
No
It
spoilers.
was not a spoiler. I
But
was just kidding.
what, Thor, Love and Thunder? Is that what it's called?
I have no clue, but it was fun.
Yeah, it's fun, but you have to go in lighthearted. You can't,
Just don't talk about it.
Okay.
It was fun. That's it.
And then we had dessert.
Yeah, you see, it's a lot with no kids at all.
Yeah.
Anyways, all that to say, we were kind of tired, and she said, it was gonna give us energy because it's late. We put the kids to sleep, and then we have to record this episode. And she said, a tank boy will help us, and so, Papa, if you're listening, sorry, just gonna be some weird noise of us eating ice cream. I heard some of you like that kind of stuff nowadays. I don't know.
What do you mean they like that kind of stuff?
Like weird noises of people eating and
Like
and whispering.
ASMR?
Yeah. Why would they like that?
I don't know.
Anyways, you guys
Yes.
are. I mean, we're here to indulge you guys in any way possible. And,
Do you guys even know what tank boy is? It's
if you don't know,
Can you
this
open
is.
mine?
Oh my God! Here, hold this.
Thank you.
You just eat that one.
Okay.
Wow, that's perfect.
Yeah, you did cut it well.
Oh, yours is really bad.
See? Told you.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to spill it.
No, still. No.
Oh,
I'm a strong man.
Anyways, tank boy is like
Oh, here, I'll show you.
Korean.
If you are watching it, here, look at this. H Mart sponsor us. Who is this?
I don't know.
Hete. Is it not? Is that how you say it? Hi Thai. It is.
Oh, yeah.
Sponsor us, whoever you are. But yeah, it's great. It's delicious.
It's like
It's pear flavored ice cream. Find it at your local H Mart. Hopefully you have it. If not,
Well, these days they're like running low, I think.
inflation.
But
Anyways,
thank you.
cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, so that's the premise of this episode. Nothing crazy. We'll just talk a little bit about some of the things. Oh, actually, we also had some questions that some of you guys sent.
Yes, thank you for sending those, by
yeah,
the way.
I'll ask Blair some of those questions and have her answer. Yeah, it's not going to be too crazy. Hopefully not too long, and we'll just chat for a little bit. If you want to listen, keep listening. If not, just see you on the next episode. Sorry. Anyways, can I actually see some of those questions?
But while you like look up those questions,
Mm-hmm.
I just would like to say,
Oh yeah, say your thing.
yeah, like I mean, 100 episodes is kind of crazy for me in my head because I, with episode number 1, I just was like, okay, let's just see how many people are willing to say yes, and I didn't even think we'd last this long, to be honest. But people keep saying yes to interviewing, which I'm so grateful for. Like if you are a regular listener, like every guest I've had on, like truly is passionate about what they do. It's super fascinating. And I hope that you can feel my genuineness because I truly am. Every time I'm like really surprised and shocked by some of the things that people do. And I feel so privileged to be able to come on this platform and share with others about other people's lives. And I'm so thankful to those that have reached out to me, that listen regularly, that have said like such encouraging things. And so thank you. Thank you for just showing me the love because there are days where I'm kind of like, should I keep doing this? Like, is it worth it? But at the same time, I really enjoy it. So, yes. And thank you, honey. Because without you, well, you do everything. I just show up for the interview, really.
That's true.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, like I literally just show up for the interview, and
You know how to turn the lights on.
I know how to turn the lights on.
Not these.
Is it difficult?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, they're new, these lights, but these keep making weird noises.
Me?
The tank boys. But
They like those. Some people seem to like them. It's weird.
But anyways, yes. If it weren't for you, I would have no podcast probably. So thank you.
Yes. It's been fun. It's been a fun 100 episodes. It's been fun listening to all those different stories. And I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of people that kind of skim through and try to find things that they're interested in. But honestly, like just listening to every single episode I have to.
Oh yeah, David listens to every single one.
I don't know. The most interesting part for me is, yes, of course, the weird, interesting jobs, but more than that, like hearing each person's story and how, things always seem to not go according to our plans, and somehow they end up where they are, and it works out, and so
Yeah.
those have been very fun and encouraging to listen to,
For sure.
and I hope they've been encouraging you guys too. That being said, we will. Sorry, why?
Nothing.
I don't know. This is very awkward because I don't know if I'm supposed to look at her or look at the camera or look at the mic or the phone. But
Just do whatever you want.
yeah, I'll just try to be natural.
That's not natural.
Anyways, yeah. So I'll read some of these questions, and actually, one of the first questions that we got was from a friend, and he asked, "Which career would you want your kids to pursue from all the careers that you've heard about on your podcast?" And actually, so there's a couple of people that asked the same question, and we thought it'd be fun if we asked our kids that same question and have them answer it instead of us, answering for them. We'll answer it for them too, but I don't know how I'm gonna make this edit. Maybe I'll put it here right now, and so if it goes there, it's there because the kids are sleeping right now, and we'll have to record it separately. If not, we'll just put it at the end of the video or something. But thought that'd be something fun to do.
Yeah.
But anyways,
they're really like honest too. So.
Yeah, and they're funny.
Or
but
we think they're funny.
Yes, we think they're funny. So if the edit's here, I'll see you in a second. If not, continue. Here we are. So Blair,
Yes.
which career would you want your kids to pursue? I guess two questions. One, this question is very specific in of all the episodes that you've interviewed, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And a more broad question would be, is there something that you would want your kids to do based on their personalities, the things that we see in them? Not want to, but see them doing, right? So it's not much of a I want them to do it, but more of a I see them doing kind of thing. So yeah, go ahead. You can answer both questions.
I mean, it's kind of interesting as you're asking the question. I'm thinking about the kids and their personalities, and even myself as a parent, right? What kind of parent I want to be in encouraging whatever giftings or talents or interests that they have. I think growing up, I think I've expressed here kind of at some point in the last 100 episodes, I'm sure I've talked about my career as an competitive ice skater growing up. And how my mom placed me on the ice at 3 years old. And then I just kind of it's not like I chose ice skating. It's just something she pushed me to kind of continue to pursue. And as a parent now, I understand. I tell myself, with Eli and Zoe, I definitely want them to find what they love and what they look forward to or what they're good at. I think my personality, looking back, maybe I wasn't very vocal to my parents about this ice skating. At a young age, maybe if I had said I don't like it, I don't want to do it or something, maybe they would have allowed me to pursue other things. But I think because I never said anything is why they just continued to push me and invest into the sport for me.
Makes sense.
And I get it, as a parent now, because I really do want our kids to find something and stick with it, follow through.
Yeah.
Be disciplined. So I get it. But all that to say, I think looking at Eli and Zoe today and their interests, right? Let's take Eli first since he's our first born. David and I, we have athletic backgrounds. We want our kids to be athletic. That's not something we hide from people, I don't think.
We desire that.
Yeah.
Deeply.
And so but Eli, it's not that he's not athletic, I think, but he's definitely not strong in that area. It doesn't come naturally for him.
His strength lies
a little more intellectual.
elsewhere.
Yeah, intellectual, logical kind of thinking. So I mean, I want to say
at least for now.
Yeah,
At
yeah,
5.
yeah. At 5, he's only 5. So, but yes, he's only 5, but I mean, you can see their tendencies pretty quickly, I feel like. But
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. But okay, keep going, and then I'll add on. To
Okay,
that.
okay, yes. But what can I see them doing like as a future career? Eli, I think he's very technology savvy at for a 5-year-old, I guess. And then also, I mean, what little boy doesn't like playing with Legos? But he really does enjoy it. And like he loves like order and rules. Very like disciplined. Like so, as long as you tell him in the instructions, he'll do it step by step and make sure it's done correctly. So in that kind of mindset, like I definitely he has an engineering mind. I feel like and he will probably thrive more in his book studies. I feel than maybe and less of the creative side. Not that he can't pursue those things. Not that we can't develop those things. 'Cause I'm a firm believer that you can. We both are, but I think those natural tendencies are more like engineer like. Is that I don't know if that answers the question, but
No, I mean, yeah, I guess it answers the questions.
Yeah.
We can definitely see a more of a tendency towards that area.
yeah.
But like you said, it's not like you can't develop
Sure.
or learn or hone skills that you don't see there right away. And even the sports thing or the athleticism thing I was gonna add. I mean, I don't know if I don't remember when I was little, but even me, I don't think I was like naturally like athletic as much as my brother was. But I think a lot of how I learned sports
That's right.
was very intellectual, like very logical and like analyzing like the right motion and thinking through those motions and thinking through how things are done, how the ball is kicked or thrown. And yeah, I think there is a hope. That's kidding. No, but yeah, I think if he does enjoy something and he does end up loving something, it's not something that I'll be like, yeah, you can't do it, but definitely just work hard and you can do.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, me too. I don't think there are certain things that came naturally to me on the ice, but there's a lot of things that didn't too. So definitely you can what do you call that? Like you said, hone those gifts.
Passion will always what was it called?
I don't know the quote.
Beat skill.
Oh
No,
yeah, I mean that sounds right. Not skill,
Not skill.
but like
just natural gifting.
yeah,
Like if you're naturally gifted and you don't know anything about it, you will
Right.
you will not
pursue
be
it.
better than the person that's passionate and
Right,
pursuing
right.
it. So if he's
But like
passionate
that's what's tricky, and that's what I feel like this podcast too. Like I'm hoping to achieve, right? Like finding your passion, like and finding the thing that you love so much that even if you're not good at it, you really want to like learn everything there is to know. I mean, like some of the best athletes that are out there now, like they aren't necessarily the best skill wise naturally.
they probably are.
Well, I know, but like they worked hard.
Yes,
worked
of course.
hard.
It was both.
Yeah.
It was both.
But anyways,
Yeah.
yes.
I think it was both. Both.
Yeah.
But anyways, we'll see. But yeah, we can see that for Eli. I think a lot of engineering minded, logical minded.
Right.
And for Zoe, it's very interesting.
Yeah. Complete opposites.
Yeah, very complete opposite. She's a complete. If you know Myers-Briggs, she's like very
Yeah.
very like creative minded, very like
outside the box.
box.
Yeah. Like she looks at clouds and like makes stories and
Yes,
stuff.
and then whatever we talk about, she makes songs about them.
Yeah.
So she's and I mean that's that. But then she also, we feel like we've found that at least at this age, at 3 years old, she's very much in love with animals and
But like
everything that
I
moves
know,
or breathes.
yes, like this is yes. We should emphasize at 3 years old
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of 3-year-olds like animals.
Sure.
But Zoe, like even when she was a baby and couldn't talk, like trees would blow in the wind. And like she thought the trees were waving at her, so she would like wave back at them. And so like we say she really loves like nature and like animals and like things that crawl and wiggle around and have life, like she really adores them. Like
And more than adore, it's like, you know, she likes them, but she also has this desire to care for them.
yes, she loves to care for them. So like she'll take so gross. Like she takes earthworms and then like puts them in a pile and like she'll be like, "Oh, it's okay, earthworms. Like we'll find your mommy." Like, and I'm like, "You took them from their home and put them there, but it's fine." Yeah. So it's like has a very caring
Yes.
heart.
All that to say, it would be cool if she went into something like that, you know, maybe a vet or a
Yes.
zookeeper. I don't know.
I can see her doing that
or
for sure.
an animal trainer of some sort. Yeah, any of those things seem appropriate. At least, you know, for now. Not appropriate, but it seems like she would enjoy it. And it'd be cool to see that develop if that were to happen.
Yeah, and I think like as parents it is kind of our job. I'm not saying this for everybody. I'm just saying this for myself and David, but like say, you know, they have this interest now, you know, my hope is that we can continue to expose her to different things that will maybe fuel the interest, you know, and fuel the passion. And then if hopefully early on, if she decides, you know what, I actually don't like animals, then we can like quickly, you know, try to figure out some of the things that she does like. And that's what I just want to like reiterate. For me, that's what this podcast is about
Right.
too, right? Like resourcing listeners to get just a taste of a specific career, see maybe if they might be interested in it. Hopefully from that point on, you know, if they hear something, they'll do some research, maybe reach out to me, which some of you guys have, and to have a conversation with my guests or whatever, and just to kind of see, do I like it? If I don't, that's okay, but maybe I do, and maybe this is something that I can continue to look into and study, learn more about.
Right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, great question. I am excited to see, what our kids grow up to be.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. And even to emphasize the part of reaching out, yeah, I feel like that's such a great resource,
Yes.
like to be able to reach out to someone who's also already in the profession and career. So don't be shy, do it. We're not promoting it. It's not like we get anything from it if you do. But, you know, it's another resource that it's there, you know, right now for you to use, you know. Anyways, there's a question that says, after interviewing so many people with different occupations, is there one that you would pursue if you could start all over?
Like I mentioned before, like everyone that comes on is like super into their jobs, and I'm
Right.
so grateful, and I think it's like such a blessing to be able to witness that. And I say that because every time someone talks about something I think I should have done that.
Yeah.
Like someone came on and talked about auditing,
Right.
and I'm like, wow, you love auditing. Like that scene, and it was so purposeful too, you know? I think, but I think for me, there was a 언니 that came on, like an older sister type friend of ours that she is an event planner. And that's something I think I would really love.
More specifically, she's an event planner for sporting events.
Yes, which is like sounds like a dream job for me.
Yes.
Honestly, maybe one day. But yeah, so if you missed that episode, her name is Esther Hong. She's an event planner with Stan Smith Events, and this is same Stan Smith, like your Adidas shoe Stan Smith. And she works for him, and she goes around the world to help plan and coordinate some of the biggest sporting events that you've witnessed, like Wimbledon and all those like tennis stuff, some golf things, like I think maybe even some soccer things she's done. But yeah, super cool.
Looks fun.
And I thrive in those stressful situations. But.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably the one I do.
Yeah, that's a good one. I can see you doing that. All right, next question. Is there any good movies that you've enjoyed lately and why?
We saw a good movie on Netflix the other day.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Hustle with Adam Sandler.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, it's like a basketball movie. But I liked it because I like sports in general, just because the idea of, everyone banding together for one cause, wanting to see something amazing happen. And so it's about Adam Sandler. He's a scout for the NBA. And so, it's about dreaming and passion and, hard work. So I loved it. Yeah. Or it was really fun, I guess.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good movie.
Hustle.
That's it. We're not
we all gotta
anymore.
hustle.
Yes.
To make things happen. Episode 100. Can't stop.
Oh, yeah, I mean, in that note, how did you find the motivation to stay focused on long-term goals? For example, 100 episodes on podcasts.
I mean, motivated to stay committed to something. I think you just have to want to do it. Or not want to do it, but for example, the podcast itself, I think more than wanting to do it, I really enjoy it. So it was easy for me to stay motivated. There are things, of course, that I don't want to do, but still do it anyways. And that's just called discipline, right? Which I'm really good at because that's just how I'm wired. But I think also something that helps is accountability. I think if David didn't ask me every week, so do you have something lined up for next week? Yes. No. Yeah, if he doesn't ask me, sometimes I'm like, it's okay. I can just miss 1 week. But accountability, I think, is one way to just stay committed. I know the question was about motivation, but sometimes, if you're really busy, you do lack the motivation, but accountability allows you to keep your eye on the goal.
I think accountability is a big motivator.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've started working out with my brother.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
About 2 weeks now. Mm-hmm. And the only time I could I kept trying to convince him that I couldn't do it because I didn't have time. And I said, if we're going to do it, it's going to be at 5 a.m. Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay. Oh, my God. That's a problem.
Even when you told me, I was like, okay, good luck with that.
But, for the last 2 weeks, I've went.
Yeah, you do go.
And literally the only motivation has nothing to do with my health or my body or... literally has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that I said I would do it, and then there's a person waiting for me on the other side.
Right.
And
I guess that goes for the same for my listeners too.
Right.
I mean, when we skip a week or are late on posting.
Right.
I get so shocked, honestly. That people are like, is there an episode released today? Mm-hmm, I'm like, what?
Hello, where is it?
You guys wait for Mondays?
It's part of a routine, I guess.
I guess that's kind of cool.
But anyways, all that to say, I think accountability is a big motivator. If you have
Yes.
nothing else, and if you have a long-term goal that you want to reach, share it with your friends, or at
Mm-hmm.
least with a friend or a family member, and be like, hey, this is what I want to do, this is where I'm going, and this is what I'm gonna do to get there every day. And you can go as far as just doing that, or even asking them, hey, can you check on me once a day, once a week, once a month, to see how I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that, even having that in the back of your mind, will give you a little bit of an extra push to do what needs to be done, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. I'll just ask one more question.
Okay.
I don't know if it has anything to do with podcast, but the question is, what's your go-to method of applying gratitude daily, or to have a thankful heart mindset? Like, what do you do to remind yourself that you're thankful every day? Or do you do anything in particular, I guess?
Honestly, like sometimes it's really hard to stay thankful. I think when I get really busy, or I'm very like task oriented, right? Like I know what the tasks are and I just like go through the day to get them done. And I think, oh, this reminds me of this time where it was a little while ago. Like Eli was 3 and Zoe was 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I was dropping Eli off at preschool, but like, when it comes to like raising children, especially for a stay-at-home mom, it's like, there are things that need to get done for you to get out the door on time to get to school, make sure everyone is like has shoes on and went to the potty, and like like all the things. And I remember I was taking him to school, like Zoe was strapped to me because she couldn't walk yet. I'm holding Eli because he's still pretty little. I mean, maybe he was 2 actually, and he's like on my hip, and I'm running into preschool, and I catch a glimpse of myself in the window, and I like, it was so funny to me, like this situation. I was like, oh my, like this is so funny. Like I'm carrying both my kids into school right now, and I don't even know like what I'm thinking about, but I was really grateful for some reason in that
Mm.
moment. I was so grateful that the PE teacher that checks everybody in, I asked her to take a picture of us at school,
Uh-huh.
because I was like, I don't want to forget like these
Mm.
moments of like me taking the kids to school like
Right.
this, because it's not going to be forever.
Mm.
And I even posted it, I think, on my Instagram, my personal Instagram, because it wasn't for people, honestly. It was like I wanted to remember this day, this particular moment, so that
Mm.
I remember that, yeah, every day is a gift and I need to be thankful for it, right?
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to remember sometimes, because I just like know the tasks I need to get done for the day. How do I need to keep our kids entertained? I'm gonna
Mm.
do those things, and then but and if I get it done at the end of the day, I'll be like, okay, a job well done. And I sometimes skip the gratitude part.
Mm.
But so to answer this question, to be honest, I think some days are harder than others.
Mm-hmm.
I think definitely like when I'm in God's word more, I tend to have a more grateful heart, because I think just whatever my attitude for that day is expressed, yeah, through my thoughts and emotions. I think that, yeah, in the busyness of life, I it's hard for me to keep up
Mm-hmm.
with everything. So I write things sometimes on the walls of our
Mm-hmm.
house, and I
Right.
put stuff there, like whether it's verses or God's promises, like in front of the kitchen sink, on the bathroom mirror, that remind me to be thankful,
Mm.
for the moments, the small moments too.
So I guess that's one, like, quote unquote method, right? Like,
Yeah.
just putting visual reminders
Mm-hmm.
in places where you know you're gonna be. Whether it's for her the kitchen sink or the bathroom mirror or the fridge door, and whatever that looks like, to you, whether it's your phone screen, thing where we actually end up looking at, a lot. Yeah, these little visual reminders I think help a lot, just to pause for a second and yeah, reflect on the words that are written, right? So whatever you write, be thankful today, or a verse, or a promise, and yeah, that's good. That's great.
What do you do?
I mean, those I see those too, so those help me.
Oh yeah.
And for me, I don't particularly do something like specific every day. I know some people like wake up and write 3 things that they're thankful for, or
Oh, they do.
know.
I guess
I'm sure there are people that do that.
Yes.
And
Sorry,
that's a great thing.
I'm just like, wow, those people are so good. Like,
Yeah, no, that's a great thing to do. And if you need to do that, do it. And honestly, I feel maybe I should do that. But I don't have a specific thing that I do every day, but I do find myself reminding myself of the things that I'm thankful for, especially when I find myself in a stressful situation or a worrying situation, or whatever those are. I tend to take a moment to not force myself, but remind myself of the things that the world's not ending,
right.
we're healthy, we
Have
have
a
everything we need.
place to live.
Yes,
And
food to eat, and it's like what are you complaining about, kind of
Right,
thing.
right.
So yeah, those I find myself doing that when I get stressed. So it's not like a daily routine kind of thing, which I think would help, honestly, if I did have that, and would maybe prevent those moments from happening. But yeah, for me, that's it. It's just
It's good.
as it happens. All right. I'm going to ask you a couple more questions, and we'll end soon, just so we don't talk for like 2 hours. But question is there anything you learned as a podcaster / mom / person these last 2 years of podcasting? It doesn't need to be specific to podcasting, but yeah, podcast is when I grew up, but as you were growing up as an adult, the last 2 years have been, I guess, pretty big not transitional, but transitioning out of the first stage of motherhood, right? When they're first born and newborns, kind of going into this different stage where they're kind of both talking and starting to become independent. You started a podcast. Eli started school, like a lot of things happened. And so how do you think you have changed or grown or learned in the last 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, a lot's happened. Went through a whole pandemic.
Oh yeah, that too. That happened too.
I think I've learned to be slow to react.
Yeah.
Right? Don't you think?
Yeah.
I used to be really reactionary. I still am, like really dramatic. But I feel like in the last couple years, as I've grown older and, like you said, transitioned into like the second part of not the second part, but a different season of motherhood. I feel like I've been even just like slow to speak. I'm an external processor, as most of you know. So a lot of times, I think even growing up, when I was younger, in my high school days, like people would describe me as very blunt, and I realize now that it's not that I was being blunt. It's just like everything I was thinking, I would process externally, so it would come out as like being forward and blunt. But I don't think I was trying to be. And then I just kind of accepted, oh, I'm a blunt person. But being honest and blunt sometimes is good and
Mm-hmm.
okay, but I also am realizing that not everything should be said so reactionary in the moment. It's not really wise all the time. And so I think whether it's in my relationships or even like with Eli and Zoe, right? Or like things happen, right? Like they fight or they fight with their friends or like they're in a situation where maybe they accidentally did something, but my knee jerk reaction is to be upset about it. But I think I've learned to like just kind of observe what's happening before reacting to it. And it might sound like a very small thing that's changed, but for me, it's not. Like, I think even in my conversations with David, like, when we argue about something, I feel like I've been better about like not just like saying everything at once, but really thinking about what's happened. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's good.
processing things. As far as a podcast, I think what I've learned from the podcast is like from a lot of my guests actually say the same thing when they give advice is like it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail. And I'm like, no, it's not, right? It's not okay. But I'm like, yeah, like I mean, as long as you learn from them, right?
Yeah.
Like don't make the same mistakes over and over again. But and using that advice and like thinking about again our children, even in ministry too, right? Like it's okay, it's all right, it's not a big deal. How can we learn from it and let's just move on. And
Yeah.
I think honestly, like my personality and maybe even the way I was raised was not like that. I was in a sport that literally being perfect was what it was all about.
Right.
So yeah. And as a podcaster too, I feel like I've learned to, I don't know, like be a little more bold in getting to know people. And then even like, I know it sounds so silly, but even like asking people to be on the podcast was really hard for me.
Yeah.
I don't
Well, it
like,
still is.
yeah, it's still hard for me. I really don't like rejection. And like,
Who likes rejection?
some people don't mind.
That's true.
But I think the perfectionism in me, right, is like I want it to go perfectly.
Right.
I want everyone to say yes, and
Yes.
I want no, actually people saying no to me is actually not a big deal, as it is like I don't like when people don't respond,
Right,
like when they
right.
ghost me, and I mean it's okay, it's fine, but
Just say no, guys.
but even I get scared of even failing, quote unquote, in that. But I'm trying to be more of a failure, I guess.
Okay.
And it's okay to fail. Yeah.
So, in that note, is there any advice that you feel like has impacted you or has impacted or changed something in your life? I mean, there's a lot of good advice, like you said. They're all good, but is there one that stands out, or at least in this moment, like that you remember, like, oh, that was good?
I think for me is that like the failing one.
Okay.
Yeah, and then also, there's been a lot of good advice, but that's the one that stands out the most. What about you? I don't remember. I mean, it's been 100 episodes, but I'm sure there's been a lot of great things.
Yeah, I mean, I would say similar, like advice, just that, failing is okay. It just means, it's just another step towards where you're going,
Right.
as long as you learn from it. And then, oh, there's a bug on the desk.
Got it.
And then I guess like Sorry, that was just gross. Watching it.
Sorry.
That's fine. Oh, make connections,
Right. Right.
networking, and one more would be, I don't think this, I mean, this wasn't an advice. It was just part of an episode where Dr. Sonu talks about, ACEs and
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
how their past trauma and experiences affect, their future, everything, like, but even behavior, or even like their physical health, and not just looking at the trauma in the past and the like future self, like as in behavioral problems, but even like this morning, this person might have been having a bad day, and right now they're reacting in a certain way because of that, and thinking through that before I react to someone else's reaction.
It's hard to do, but
yeah, which is really hard, but the moments I remember to do that, like, oh, this person's reacting in a way that's negative, and my initial reaction is to be upset and be like, why are they doing that? But if there is that extra step of like, okay, this person might have had a really sucky morning, or something might have happened, or they're going through something, I think that gives us an extra moment to offer grace in those moments. And it's not always that, sometimes they're just being jerks, but I think that even at least the thought of that, has impacted me in the way that I try to, approach people, relationships, situations. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. So there's something that I ask, or that you ask every guest at the end of an episode. And we're coming to an end of our episode today.
Yes.
Is this what you say? Something like this.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
You should know by now. It's been 100 episodes.
Is there any advice that you would like to give?
I should have known this was coming. I didn't prepare though.
Oh, man.
Any advice that I'd like to give? I think some advice that I'd give is keep an open mind. Like not just in just in everything. It's hard for me to do. I'm not a very open-minded person in by nature, but I work on it and I try to stay open-minded. I think even I was talking to someone today. Honestly, I would have not married David if I didn't have an open mind. Like David, for those of you who don't know, is 4 years younger than me, which is great. I am very happy. But like I think when I was young, like in college or even a teenager, I wouldn't never have thought you shouldn't do this when you're a teenager.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
But like when you're in college, like
16 with the 12-year-old.
Okay, I mean, you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is without an open mind, you can miss out on really good opportunities.
That's true. That's a good example.
Yeah. And so like whether it's relationship romantically or like a friendship that you could possibly really get along with somebody, but if you have a closed mind because of maybe one little thing, then how will you ever know, you know? Or even like, of course, like job, career, maybe there's a job opening that you feel like you would never pursue, right? But how do you know, like maybe you're really good at it, or maybe it could open doors for another opportunity in the future, right? Like only God knows these things that are part of the bigger picture. But I think when we keep an open mind, and if it's not like crazy or risky or like too like out of this world, you should just go for it.
It's good advice.
I need to take my own advice, but
me too.
But yeah, I think that's what I would want for our children. And I think again, if I didn't keep an open mind about some things that I've done in life, like this podcast even, right? Or even being a children's pastor.
I know, yeah.
Like everything. Yeah, I don't know.
That's good. That's good advice. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
I know you're tired. It's been a long day. So your time is very valuable. Thank you for giving it to us.
I can't tell if you're mocking me
I'm
or
not.
like
Why?
a little bit.
No.
A little bit
that
making,
wasn't mocking. That part wasn't
making
mocking.
fun of me.
No. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode. So if anyone wanted to know how to keep an open mind, would it be okay to contact you?
Yes, of course. I do that because I just want people to have permission. You know, like maybe they feel scared about asking or reaching out.
I wasn't mocking you because I'm sure I'm open. I just meant like if they wanted to just chat with you.
Right. No, but I just wanted to make that clear. Like I asked people at the end of the episode, "Hey, like, do you mind if people reach out?" Is because I think if it were me listening, I would need to hear it, right? Instead of like,
we're Asians, we need permission.
oh gosh, isn't that terrible?
Yeah, but anyways, there's your permission. You can ask her questions if you have them. Yeah, so you can email us at podcast wigu at gmail.com.
Yes.
Instagram is when I grow up .podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Duh. And then just do all those things. Just reach out. We like talking to you. She likes talking to you guys. I don't do anything. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening, guys. I'll see you on the next episode. Or not me, but she will.
Until next time, guys.
Yes, until next time. Bye.
Zoe, what's your name? Okay. What's your name?
Zoe?
What's your name?
No, you have to say how old are you?
No, I have to say what's your name first. What's your name?
Zoe?
How old are you?
3.
Do you go to school?
No.
When's your birthday?
Remember what? 7.
Your turn.
Hey, what's your name?
Eli,
How old are you?
5.
Do you go to school?
Yes.
What do you like to eat?
Cheese pasta with no vegetables.
Okay.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a dancer and a ballerina and a Korean. And the Korean. And my favorite food is seaweed sponge noodles.
Oh, what's your favorite movie?
Fantastic.
That's not your favorite movie.
But sometimes I love it.
Okay, then.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be an animal that takes care of every animal.
I want to be
And every reptile and bug. And I also want to be a construction worker, a firefighter, a police officer.
Okay, I also want to be like a helper.
Helper.
Do you mean a dolphin trainer?
Yeah, dolphin trainer.